You're now live. Okay, so if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or the website or Twitter, welcome to much delayed Blowing for Britain, and we'll be with you. Well, we'll be with you as soon as the crew's ready. Peter, are you there?
Yeah.
Right, everybody's here. Let's just go for it and go like this and say good morning and happy New Year, John.
Good morning and happy New Year and all that stuff to you too.
Good morning and happy New Year, Peter.
Good morning. Happy New Year. It's not been a good one for me so far. I've been ill since day one.
Yeah. Oh.
Bad. This is the best I've been and I'm still not right. I eventually got I went to the doctor, wouldn't give me any antibiotics. And I went back yesterday and I got antibiotics. And you know, I'm starting to feel better already.
Yeah, you've got to fight for them, haven't you? You can't. Yeah.
Sick of it, and it's been horrible. Horrible. I mean, I thought I was okay, then I went out, and then when I came back, I was sure it was just horrible. Yeah. Anyway, so it's been pretty miserable. That's me.
Not a good start to the year.
And Peter discovered he has a doppelganger as well.
I couldn't believe that. Did you see it? What did you?
I did. I looked at it twice and thought it was you trying to con us all.
What did you think?
Well, he did half look like you.
Wow.
He sang like you as well.
He sang exactly, and that's one of the songs I do as well. So, Stephen's probably. Did you see it, Stephen?
I caught it. Yes. Yeah.
Right. So let the viewers know. I've started using TikTok. Now, TikTok is not for young people. Let me put that straight. Okay, TikTok for everyone. Some fascinating things. I spend a lot of time in TikTok now. So what happened was there's a pub down in Liverpool called Cooperstown, and they put on live karaoke. People singing. Looks a great bar, sort of bar I would go into. And then there was a guy singing, and he looked exactly the same as me, same type of glasses when I wear them. And I was just mesmerised. I couldn't believe it that he looked like me. I think it was Scottish accent as well, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to find him. I put out a word. And I was hypnotised. Everybody that has seen it, some people thought it was me, some of my friends.
Yeah.
That was you in Liverpool. I says, I've only been to Liverpool once in my life. And it was quite scary.
So you're going to track him down?
I'm going to try to. I'll try and track him down, see if he's a local. So it was real creepy. You know, I look like Louis. Well, I used to look like Louis Walsh, and but this guy is a doppelganger. That's for sure. Anyway.
And welcome to the show. And we can officially say that this is Blabbing for Britain, episode 402, UK News Review. Wow, indeed. And welcome to listeners on Royston Radio. We've got a new time on Royston Radio, Peter. We're now live at 2 p.m. on a Friday. So if you're listening to us, this is the crew. This is Stephen, John and Peter, and we are live, and it's Thursday morning here, and we're going to review the week's news or anything that's been happening to us or anything that's going on, anything interesting over the course of the next 60 minutes. Now, I'm going to bring in a screen share, if I can show that in stream, and basically I want to go like that or like that, and I want to move that. Just set this up to there. Okay. Now, of course, the biggest thing that's happening is Mr. Bates versus the post office. So my first question is, have you watched it?
We can't find it. Sheila is going mental about it. And
yeah, okay, I can solve that one for you. We tried to find it. It is on ITV. It's on ITVX,
yeah,
but it doesn't show up at all. We spent half an hour trying to, going through the searches and searching for Mr. Bates and searching for post office, and couldn't find the blooming thing. You've got to sign into ITVX. You've got to open an account.
you got to have an account.
As soon as you open an account, then you can get access to everything. And Mr. Bates is front and center, as you would expect.
Well, one of the things is I don't think I can watch it because my blood pressure with the sky high. I mean, I've been in tears for these people.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really have, because if there's one thing I hate is injustice. And no, I'm going to rant now. Let me tell you something about this programme. Ed Davey, you maybe know him as Sir Ed Davey, Liberal Democrat. I don't want to hand back his cell or anything like that. I want him to take responsibility. Do you know what he was in his last life, Stephen?
No.
He was an executioner because he loved to see heads roll.
True.
He has asked for 31 heads to roll. Heads should roll. 31. Rolling. Wham, wham.
Yeah, I mean,
what about his own head?
He virtually ignored this and told Mr. Alan Bates it's just not interesting enough. There's nothing in it. Post office is right. Fujitsu don't do anything wrong. And basically you don't know who's kidding who. Yeah, but the outcome is you watch it, as you said, Peter, you watch it and you get a mixture of anger and sadness and disbelief.
Do you think
this is David versus Goliath?
Do you think he should resign?
Oh yeah. I think that anybody who actually allowed this to continue for 20 years. Yeah, they're all culpable. I mean, in 2010, I think it was Priti Patel who mentioned it. They just mentioned it and moved on. Yeah, in Parliament. They
Do you know what? You see, I like revenge. Do you know, I was watching this, the guy, I don't know if you've seen the TV interviews, where the old man, he's in a brace now, he's in a chest brace, and did you see it? And his son is his representative speaking to him. Guy in a village, I think they're Pakistani people.
Yeah.
And that man was vilified in that village. Even the local councillors said, see your shops up for sale, you better leave this village. The local councillors! I would be knocking it, I'd be at their door with a placard saying, how wrong you were. And I would stand here every day. And they said, look, where's my apology? See, many years ago, they would have been hanged on a public square.
That's true. Right. For anybody who doesn't know the incredible, horrible story, basically the post office has postmasters, sub-postmasters in virtually every town and city in the UK. And they run a post office and they do a whole host of things on behalf of the post office. And a new accounting system called Horizon, developed by Fujitsu, was installed. And the system was not, never would be perfect.
No.
And basically they were accused of actually taking money from the post office, because when they reckoned up on a Wednesday every week, they would balance the books, and basically the system was saying, there's been an error, you have lost £2,000, pay it to us. Now, some of the postmasters did pay it and just carried on. Others were actually taken to court, convicted, and sent to jail. And everything in between. It's just, in this day and age, it's just incredible, and it shows that the computer systems can be fallible, Peter.
Yeah, sorry. Wait a minute. Carry on a minute. I've got a mess.
All right. Okay. I'll carry on. Well, just to say that it's been going on for 20 years. Nobody would believe that the Fujitsu system could be wrong. And therefore they're ignored by government, they're ignored by the post office, they were brushed off. We just watched episode 3 of a 4-part series which was broadcast on ITV last week, and as parts of it you just can't understand how it could happen in this day and age, that people could be accused of taking money that never existed and sent to jail and lose their houses, lose their livelihoods, lose their health. And unfortunately, some people committed suicide. Yeah. And it's just, you get so angry on their behalf from watching it. And I've got to say that the program makers have done the country a service, because I could see that. I mean, there is an inquiry going on at the moment, but it's not going to, this program is responsible for bringing this to everybody's attention, for explaining clearly what happened, for the injustices, and basically a petition petition reached over 1 million signatures, Peter.
Yeah.
Which for a TV program is just incredible. And our government has decided to do something. Our Prime Minister yesterday announced a scheme to compensate people. They are to receive £600,000, and all they have to do is sign that they did not do anything. That's to cover future problems, but because the thing is, obviously, they want to make it as watertight as they can. But you can't give people back 20 years of their life or a 9 months spell in prison. You just can't do it. Or ill health. Yeah. So the thing is that they're not going to pay any of the 600,000 until the end of the year. And as Angelica said, why does it take so long?
That's because they're trying to get it off Fujitsu.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, I looked at this the other day. Let's come back here. Fujitsu have had hundreds of contracts. And let's go here. Fujitsu have had hundreds of contracts over the years. They've currently got 31. And they basically run a large part of our government. Yeah.
Well, this is the old case of not letting the Chinese into our telephone system. Okay.
Well, Japanese.
In this case, it's the Japanese.
Yeah, no, the Japanese. Now, what I would do if I was in charge of the country, we would not have one company in so many different areas and say, right, you've won that contract, you're now barred from this other tender here. We've got to use, you should spread it out so you're not under one basket. They've already said the post office can't run without this horizon. And why should the man that made the program, he's saying, I'll only come if I get indemnity. Why should he get indemnity for his failing?
Well, it's basically, if you said to a British company now, develop a system for the post office, then it would take 5 or 6, 7 years to do. Couldn't be done overnight. And that's why you can't get rid of Fujitsu, because there's nothing to replace it. And
they are massive. They just kept buying up and buying up and buying up and buying up IT businesses.
Yeah.
And the development centre at the back of the NEC, and it's big.
So why aren't they paying up?
Park. Sorry?
Why aren't they paying up?
I'm sure there are discussions in hand about just that topic. Yeah.
Yeah, they've not formally been accused of anything yet, as far as I know.
Anyway.
Okay. No.
So this happened this is set in Fenny Compton. Yeah.
The meeting was in Fenny Compton. That's where the central point.
Well, that's where Mr. Bates's post office is.
No, it's not.
Thought it was in Fenny Compton. So where is it then?
Right. Okay. Sorry. The sub-postmasters live all over the country.
Yeah.
When they found that there were 6, okay, he was on his own. He was told he was the only one with problems with the Horizon system.
Yeah.
And then he found out a second person, a third person, and they got 6 people. And he said, right, okay, we've got people from Scotland, England, Ireland, and Wales. Where are we going to meet? And they decided on Fenny Compton, population 808, little village in the Midlands, and that's where they had that's where they had their first meeting in the village hall, and they were expecting 5 or 6 people. At the first meeting, there were about 20 people there, so they were surprised by the number, and over the subsequent meetings, that number just kept rising.
So Fenny Compton is a Russian target in an event of a nuclear war, because Fenny Compton is the home of MOD logistics, where they store nuclear bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because Fenny Compton is here, if you like, and the nuclear arsenal at Kyneton is next door, and in between is the M40 and some hills called Dasset something or other hills. Just let me remind myself. But we used to go to these Dasset hills and play with the kids, Burton Dasset Hills, because it's a place where people go to fly kites. And after we'd had that, we would go into Fenny Compton to buy ice lollies and ice creams and things. Yeah, but if you go and have a look on the map, you will see a huge network of railway and nuclear arsenal depots, literally 2 miles from Fenny Compton.
Here's another question. So say I'm not Mr. Bates or whoever it is. Mr. Bates, you're the only one who's got this. So that was the date you told me, that was that date. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When did others be told that you're the only one who's got it? Was it the day after I was told? Or was it the day after that? Was it a day after that? Or was it before my date? Because you're liars. If it was, if I was the only one on that date, I'll accept that. But how many consequentially was there after that?
Yeah, the post office lied through its teeth, right up till today, and basically told everybody who was accused that they were the only one. There was nothing wrong with the computer system, and it's the post office against a single individual. And it's only when Bates decided to actually get people together that the picture came out, and he stood up at the meeting. He said, "Right, okay, post office said you're the only one. That's not true anymore. We know there are 20 other sub postmasters involved." Yeah, it's just
no,
beggars belief.
That's another question to Sir Ed Davey. I was lied to. What was their name? Who lied to you? What did they say? Get them lined up. Get them to in front of a committee. Who lied? Did you lie to Sir Ed Davey? Did you pull the wool over his eyes? Was it you? Or was it you next to you? Was it you? Was it you? Was it you? I went, no. Oh, if I was in one of that committees, you know that committees, I would rip them apart. I see people have lost their lives because of you. Committed suicide because of you.
Oh, no. Let's be careful here, Peter. Nobody has committed suicide in relation to anything that any politician has done.
Really?
Politicians did not cause anything. The politicians did nothing. And that's basically the situation. Anyway, okay, so we're obviously going to follow this as it continues and hope that they can resolve it toot sweet or even sooner. Okay, so I'm going to hide that now and we'll come back to us. Okay, right. So
Do we all remember Sven-Göran Eriksson?
Yeah.
Sven.
And sadly it's been announced that he has terminal cancer this morning.
Yeah.
A terrible thing I wouldn't wish on anybody.
True. He was an excellent England manager in his time.
25 years of age.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Anything else happening? I'm going to close that one down. And Fujitsu seems to be the news. Okay. Now, the other thing that's ongoing is Gaza.
Yeah.
Peter, what are your thoughts now?
I'll tell you, everybody's wanting peace. Hand over the hostages. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Hand over the hostages. Let your people get out of Gaza North. Let them get to a safe area. Don't hold them hostage too. You want a bit of peace? Hand over the hostages. Israel may say, fine, thank you very much. You stay there and we'll stay there. Let's count the days before rockets come in to either side after that.
Well, Secretary Blinken is doing the rounds in the countries that surround Israel and Gaza at the moment, and trying to broker an agreement, trying to get the hostages released, trying to get a cessation, trying to get supplies into Gaza. And as you said, the key to this is the release of the hostages and to let people go. I don't think that would see the end of hostilities, though. I think that there is one overriding aim of the Israeli government, and that's to obliterate Gaza, to actually make it uninhabitable.
Don't agree. Their aim is to obliterate Hamas.
And now they've started on Hezbollah as well.
Yep. Why?
Right, yesterday took out some Hezbollah commanders with a selective strike.
Didn't Hezbollah throw rockets into Israel?
Which? Well, I'm not saying they did or didn't. I'm just saying that yesterday they did a selective strike on Hezbollah.
If you had a neighbour right next door to you now and you had a greenhouse and they kept throwing bricks at it, what would you do? And the police weren't going to turn up or anything.
Yeah,
what would you do?
There's never any justification for attacking. Never.
Another country. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's everybody give up their defences, right? Everybody, hey, you want to go our country? Why don't
No. If nobody attacks, nobody's got to defend.
Say that again, sorry.
If nobody attacks, nobody has to defend. There is nothing to defend.
Do you think if Israel pulled out and they said, we're going to get rid of all our weapons, okay?
Israel's not going to get rid of all its weapons. The USA is supplying them with more and more weapons.
Why?
Because the USA, one half of the USA, part of the USA, believes that destruction of Hamas is, under circumstances, a legitimate goal. The USA makes money out of selling missiles, just as the UK does.
Yeah.
And you've got on the other side, you've got this outpouring of support for the ordinary people who live in Gaza, and they're trying to balance the two, arming Israel and protecting the people of Gaza, and the two just don't add up together. They just don't work.
Okay, well, what they might want to do is get a peace force together, maybe of Arab nations surrounding, put a peace force in and take the people in North Gaza and take them down to the western border where they're safer. You think the Arabs would do that for their fellow brothers?
Millions of Gazans have moved from one end of the Gaza Strip to another. Millions, 2 million.
Yes.
Yeah. And they'd be told they'd be safe there. And they're not. Because wherever they move to, the Israelis bomb, as far as I'm aware.
Right, you would have to get that confirmed because they're given the opportunities to get out by putting leaflets. I've got a feeling Hamas are not letting them go.
We've talked about this before because, as John said when we talked about this before, leaflets had a QR code on, and there is no mobile signal no mobile network.
Well, I've seen plenty things coming out of Gaza. I can tell you, they've both got information platforms that are spewing out what they want. Both of them are fighting with the social media. Go have a look at Telegram. You'll see real death there. People, what's happening? Telegram. Go and look in Telegram. Put in Israeli Hamas, the IDF, all those. But you won't look at it. People, go and look at it.
Why would I voluntarily get myself worked up about something I've no control over?
You know what was really happening. Don't leave it to the Guardian.
That's unfair, Peter.
No, not at all.
I'll leave it to the Daily Mirror or the Times or any left-wing paper. I don't see. I take my news from Sky News. I take my news from the Guardian.
Well, listen, six Sky News journalists have been pulled up because they were supporting Hamas. Did they tell you about that in Sky News?
That doesn't mean 100% of Sky are supporting Hamas.
No, but did they tell you, did they say we have suspended our journalists because they've been biased? Did they tell you that in Sky News?
I've no doubt that the information is available.
No, they wouldn't. You've got to look at sides from both sides now. Remember that song?
You don't have to go out of your way to upset yourself.
But it's to get to know the truth. Yeah?
Right, okay.
Now listen, when
we need a referee.
Goebbels was in charge, he wouldn't have let anybody else say anything. It was Goebbels' way or the highway. You remember that?
I don't know, Ken. And I think we've gone off as a tangent, Peter. John,
well, you bring up subjects, and sometimes you don't like the truth.
I don't say that you're not telling the truth, Peter. I'm just saying that it's your point of view. I respect your point of view, and I don't have to do what you want me to.
No, I'm not asking.
In order to know what you know.
All I'm saying is, I look at lots of social media. I look at the left, and I look at the right, and I look at the centre. I look at everything to get a balanced view, right? And they're all playing. Not a game, but they're all playing their own way of getting the message across. Okay? And when they're found out to be liars, it sticks in their throat to say they got it wrong, which happened to the likes of the BBC. There's things that they've put out right away because somebody phoned them and told them so. They never done investigations into it, and they went out and they spewed out the lies. Then they had to apologise. Sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. It's your opinion. It's more than valid, and it's part of being on the Blabbing for Britain team that occasionally we're going to disagree.
And the figures coming out saying there's X amount been killed. How could you actually sit and count everything? And remember, who runs Gaza?
Sorry, Peter. I just want to hone in on this. Are you saying categorically that the Israeli bombs have not killed a single Gaza citizen?
Absolutely not.
Sorry, you agree?
In any war or conflict, innocents are victims of the circumstances. Final word in it. Do yourselves a favour, Hamas. Give up the hostages and people might give you more respect.
Wise words, Peter. Okay, I want to say hello to Grant, who's popped in to watch us. And if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, or you sat in amazement watching a discussion going on as John is, yeah, okay, let's come back to Blabbing for Britain, episode 402, live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and also recorded on Royston Radio every Friday at 2 p.m. Okay, right. Okay, I must be refreshed, Peter, after my 3 weeks away. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken you on. So the jaded me has disappeared, and now, right. Anything else happening, John?
Oh, have you finished arguing?
Yeah,
I've been entertained watching the pair of you have a strong discussion, shall we call it? Is there anything else happening? Well, there is, but is it exciting? No. The post office inquiry resumed this morning, by the way, with the guy who did the investigation and inquiry at the time on the seat being questioned by the panel. What can we say? Right. NHS. We're back to the old argument that NHS targets have never been met. I don't have anything bad to say about the NHS because my family have done well. Unfortunately, my daughter collapsed at work on Tuesday. However, she couldn't have a better place to collapse at because she was the hospital where she works. Turned out she'd got a chest infection. So, but straight away she was taken up to a ward and she saw a doctor within a couple of hours. She would have seen the doctor quicker if there weren't for the strike situation.
That's it. The strike's over now?
Yeah, but there's just all backlog and...
Oh, yeah. Well, 113,000
people need to be seen who haven't been seen and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
being caught up with
113,000 cancelled operations over the 6 days of the strike, and that's going to have an effect for months and years to come because the backlog is just building and building. And it does seem this new way of settling strikes by settling pay disputes by ignoring them and letting people strike. I mean, whether we're talking about health service or talking about British Rail, it's just crazy. Yeah, you can't. I mean, the people who suffer are us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they averted the tube strike. There should have been a tube strike this week that was scheduled for 4 days when the whole of the London tube would have closed down. Now, that was averted at the 23rd hour. But allowing strikes to take place and for the general populace to suffer is just, yeah. In the old days, there used to be a strike. I know we can remember strikes that went on forever. There used to be a strike and the two sides would get together and they would actually work out a solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't seem to be there now. This government don't sit down. Yeah. And we're supposed to take it and just wait until one side loses. Well, one side decides to give up, basically. Crazy situation. Anyway, just continuing our look at the news for this week. If you're listening on Royston Radio or you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, then please do say hello and we'll answer your questions. Right, okay. One thing that does affect us, when we looked out the window this morning, Angelica and I, there was frost everywhere. It's 0 degrees here and there's frost on the ground all around. and it's a question of boots on if you're going outside, because we saw people slipping in the road as they tried to get from one pavement to the other. But despite the freezing cold at the moment, we've got the hottest temperatures on record last year, John.
Yeah, it's been really cold here the last 3 days. Just unbelievable. It's a bit warmer today. It's a whole 6 degrees today.
Wow.
But we've only got 4 degrees for overnight. But then over the weekend, it's looking pretty like Sunday and Monday are going to be very, very cold overnight.
Yeah, we're threatened with snow next week.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have to wait to see whether we actually get any of that next week. It's Wednesday and Thursday that we've got a threat of snow here.
Yeah.
But they're forecasting, 5 degrees, 6 degrees maximum this week. And next week, 3 degrees, 4 degrees as the warmest. So compared with December, it's going to be bloody cold.
It is, because December was in the teens, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shock.
A lot of sunshine next week, because of course that means there's no cloud, which is why it gets so cold overnight.
Yeah. Well, I've been experimenting. I went out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for my walk. And the thing was, on Monday, I went out for the walk, and it was windy, and the wind was blowing the wrong way, and my hands just were so cold with the gloves. So on day 2, on Tuesday, I thought, right, I'm going to put gloves within gloves. Okay, because I've got my park run gloves, and I put those within, and that didn't work either. And yesterday, Angelica had a pair of insulated gloves. I used those, and so I'm now as warm as toast. My feet are okay, my body's okay, my head, I've got the hat on. So I'm now warm enough to actually go out in this cold weather. And we've got a comment. And the comment's saying, it's very cold in Greenville, South Carolina. Hello, Tracy. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I think we are in winter, and it is getting cold. And you just got to wrap up warm. I mean, that's what they said for the park run on Saturday. The park run on Saturday has been cancelled for the last couple of weeks because of the mud. We had so much, or you had so much rain over the Christmas period that everything just turned to mud. And now, of course, it's going to freeze over the weekend. So wrap up warm for the park run. Yeah. Okay. I hope I haven't annoyed Peter too much. Right. Okay. Because I don't normally stand up. I've got a reminder to start blabbing for Britain, which is weird, which we have done. Right, time check. It is now, it's not often we do a time check. We normally get carried away, but it's now 10:39. Or if you're watching us and listening to us on Friday, is 2:39. And so far we've talked about Mr. Bates and the post office. We've unfortunately talked about Gaza, which we might not touch for a couple of weeks. We're just I'm going to monitor that one slightly. I won't. It's like you say, John. Don't mention the war. I am not going to mention a war in Blabbing for Britain for some time. Yeah, it wasn't my best move ever.
The thing is that we've all done a lot about this, but we're not hearing anything about Ukraine these days.
That seems to it's gone off the front pages, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Not only in the UK, but in the US and in Europe. And it, yeah. I mean, the US, they're not getting the armaments that they need. Yeah, they're having to pull back from what they'd like to do. I don't know. Our government.
The biggest argument on the war in Ukraine at the moment is that they're claiming the Russians are using North Korean missiles.
Oh,
So that's quite, I think.
yeah, it is. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you're right, John. I mean, it has slipped off the front pages. Yeah, I think Peter's on his way back. Okay, I'm trying to find. Okay, I've just seen that Christmas sales for Tesco and M&S were up. It was a good Christmas.
I think all of the retailers claim to have a good Christmas, but I think that's because people weren't spending money because they were worried about things before Christmas. Yeah. And the constant rising interest rates.
So Christmas came as a release.
Yeah. And mortgage rates have dropped over the last 10 days as well, which is quite interesting. It's just trying to create a little bit of momentum in the housing market.
Indeed. Peter, your microphone's muted. That's why we can't.
All right. Okay. I thought you'd done it. Right. So here's one of the my ex-wife used to work. This is all to do with this. My ex-wife used to work for a guy that had a porter cabin, and he built up an extraordinarily large business called the Stuart Milne Group, a house builder, right?
All right. We've heard about them going bust even down here.
Yeah, well, the local the division in England is went into administration, right? And now was into liquidation because the bank wouldn't take the offer. Now this guy's got a massive house in Aberdeen, massive house, and he used to be the chief executive or the chairman of Aberdeen Football Club, and he'd done a lot for the city, right? And has him after all these years, he's had to put his house up for sale, right? The bank's not accepted the bid, and then 2 bids that were offered for the business, and they've said no, and then they've said we're not giving you any more finance. So he's had to liquidate it. And after all those years, that's what's happened. And he done a lot for Aberdeen. He employed a lot of people. A lot of people didn't like him and they think it's funny, you know. But all those jobs, about 200 jobs going. And, you know, be careful what you wish for when you laugh at other people. That guy kept the economy going, right? And in certain parts. And it's just such a shame that it's happened, you know. And it's a shame to see it. I mean, that's all I can say. Yeah. All part of the stuff that's going on. Still there, guys?
Yeah, well, we were listening to you.
All right, okay, yeah. And that's what I'm thinking, most three guys, probably all our mortgages are paid. But I'm still I'm 64 next week, by the way. I'm still in a situation I'm terrified every week. Touch wood. There's something not going right, you know? And I've still got to build the business up bigger before I can go. But boy, I'm watching it, you know? Yeah. And one day I'm going to have to cash my chips in at the casino. I'll tell you that much.
So you're 64 next week?
I'm 64 next week. What do you think of that?
I was 68 on the 2nd of January.
All right.
I'm older than these two.
Yeah.
He starts with a 7.
Well, what's
Sheila, 0 behind it, though, isn't it, Stephen?
It is at the moment, yeah.
I can't get over the fact that my Sheila is 70 this year. It's actually scaring me, to be honest with you. I just can't believe it. And you know, I have to stop singing a song. You know what it is? I have to stop it now.
What's the song, Peter?
Will you still feed me? Will you still need me when I'm 64?
Yeah. Before, I won't be able to sing it there because I have reached that point, you know. But my health just now, 63 was a very hard year for me because my mother died at 63, and that scared me. I just can't believe she died at my age. It really hit my heart, and I'm terrified until Tuesday comes. That's when my birthday is, and I hope I make it. The other time in my life I was scared is, for people that don't know, I used to sing a few Matt Monroe songs. The younger generation won't remember, but I done Matt Monroe songs. Now, what did I have in common with Matt Monroe? He was a tank soldier. I was a tank soldier. He was a lorry driver. I was a lorry driver. He was a bus driver. I was a bus driver. And when I was 54, I was absolutely terrified because Matt Monroe passed away at age 55. And I didn't want that to come around either.
No.
Yeah, so that's me and Matt Monroe.
I wake up every morning and just say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being able to see, because the NHS did the 2 operations on my eyes. I can see everything. Thank you to Park Run that literally saved my life last year.
Yeah.
And I just go out and I just go and walk every day, and I monitor everything with the Fitbit. I watch my heart. I watch everything.
Yeah.
I do my meds. Speaking of which, Peter, we went to Germany for 2 weeks, and this is the first time going to Germany as a diabetic.
Yes.
So I took my insulin, I froze it. So I got that sorted, got a special bag to put the insulin in. I took all my medication. We sort of worked it all out, what I need, and that was packed away as well in my personal luggage. And we got over to Germany, and it comes the second morning, and I thought, right, I need to do a blood test. I didn't have any lancets with me. I had no lancets. I could not test my blood, and you need to do it just to So we went to Shuttle, Angelica and I walked into town, went to the local pharmacy, and I just kept quiet. And Angelica explained the problem, that my partner has forgotten to bring his lancets with him. Can you help him? And a very kind lady at the pharmacy said, just give me a moment. And she came back with this. Let me just go full screen for a minute.
Right.
Okay. So I didn't have any lancets at all. And sorry?
You weren't full screen, but you are now.
Yeah, okay.
Right. She came back with this.
Yeah.
Which is a lancet. And I thought, well, how on earth does that work? And it's a single take. And basically what you do is you take that out, and then you hold it like so.
Yeah.
And then you do a prick on your finger. And I thought, okay, well, that's foreign. Yeah, I've not tried that before, but I went back and I did my first test with this and it didn't work. And then I did my second test and it was fine. And I tell you, Pete, I couldn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
When the needle went in, for the first time in 7 months, I didn't feel a thing. So I thought, right, okay, these are the ones. So I, before we came back from Germany, went back to the same pharmacy and said, can we buy some? And they said, sort of. We've got the box that these came out of, and you can buy that because otherwise you've got to wait. So we brought some back with us. I actually imported these. I hope everything's okay with doing that. But these are magic compared to the ones in the NHS. On the NHS, what I'm going to try and do is to persuade my diabetic nurse to actually swap mine out for these.
Yeah. Well, that's German, maybe German technology. Did you have your strips with you for the blood?
Oh, yeah. I had everything apart from these.
Well, my tests are coming up shortly, and I've got a feeling she's going to be putting me on to insulin because I've started to go astray. Life is very difficult to eat in that just now. It's really getting on my nerves, and no matter what I do, I cannot get my sugar level down. And okay, there's days I have some chips or something. I've been away from for years, but I'm just fed up with this sort of life, you know. But then I'll tell you what scared me. Oh, I better take a hold of this. All right. No,
Right.
I'm not taking it. It's a no 345 number. I don't like it. Right. Anyway, so yeah. So then I thought, well, wait a minute, Peter. It'll affect your driving license. It'll affect you going abroad.
Yeah.
So when I go, if they're going to say you're going on insulin, I'll say no. Let's get this sorted out once and for all, because I've a lot to lose with going on insulin, and I just don't want to go on it because you can get too many complications with them, you know, not having it.
Are you on metformin or anything like that?
Oh, I'm on format for. I rattle. I've got lots of medicine every day, you know.
Yeah.
Sick of it. But that's life. I've lived longer than a lot of people because, as I've told you before, my biggest fear is waking up dead. That's my biggest.
You won't wake up, Peter. You just.
He thinks he's a bloody comedian now as well as a singer.
No. Yeah. I once had a dream that I was lying in my bed and there was a guy looking over me. It was an undertaker. Oh, I woke up quite quickly after that.
Yeah, I mean, it was impossible whilst I was in Germany, virtually impossible to actually keep the sugars under control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're served, I was served a beautiful meal. It was meat, it was mashed potatoes, and it was salad potatoes as well in beautiful sauce. And I thought, do I eat it or not? So I ate it, and then the day afterwards, the metformin had its revenge, and I spent the 25th of December because basically the setup was that we had a holiday let out in the forest, and it was 2 miles away from Angelica's mum's. So we'd have a sort of breakfast starter, which is the fruit and nuts and yogurt, and then we'd walk the 2 miles to Angelica's mum's for the second course.
Yeah.
That day, 25th December, Angelica went on her own because I just literally couldn't move.
Yeah.
You know, so Christmas Day was but the rest of the 2 weeks was okay, as long as I just said, right, okay, I'm going to take my measure in the morning. I'm not going to do it any other time. And I halved the pinpricks I did, and I got through it. And this week, everything is back in where it should be.
Just remind me, did you get that new thing that everybody with a patch? Have you got the patch?
No.
You should get that.
No, I've got to say, that would drive me bonkers. The
CGM. No, it'll give you an idea how you're doing if you're going to go down.
Right. Yeah, I can take a point on that. Is a use for it. I kept back in December. I kept a food diary for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what I was eating. I know exactly what my results were for the day. If I had a CGM attached to me, which said, okay, sorry about this, but we've got a warning. You have just drunk orange juice. That would drive me crackers.
Well, what you could do is get an insulin pump, and it'd say, so Stephen's having chips, is he? His sugar level's going to go sky high. So I'm going to pump some insulin. You know, people live like that with a pump. It does it for you.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I mean, doing the insulin in the morning you don't feel a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Since I got back, I don't know whether you can see this. I'm going to put myself full screen again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this there. The green ones are readings which are within range.
Yes.
Yeah. So my last 8 readings are within range.
Yeah.
And then the 3 yellow ones are out of range, and that's basically settling back down to being in the UK. So at the moment, everything's under control.
Yeah.
And it's going to stay that way because I know what gives me space.
The last 3 readings were yellow, or was it other ones, the green?
So the most recent readings, the last 8 readings are in range.
Okay, that's good. And what range is that in the milliliters? I only work in over.
Right, I've this week I had a 5.8 and a 9.
That's good.
From 5.8 to 9. So yeah. So I'm it's under control. It's just when you go away. I mean, we're going to Australia end of Feb.
You must have to buy. What do you do if you go to Australia? You're not going to be able to take insulin for the whole time, are you? With you. Can you buy it over there?
No, you can. We've got a flight to. Where have we got a flight to? We're stopping halfway.
Yeah.
So I can do 2 8s, or sort of.
Yeah.
I'm hoping anyway.
Scary. If you run out of insulin or anything like out of it, have you got insurance to cover you?
Will have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, John.
Oh, I touch wood. I haven't got this dreaded problem that the other two have.
All right.
No, 2 million people in the UK have, and once you've got it, you can't kick it. You've got to live with it. Right, okay, time to talk about Burnley. It's 2024. Burnley are next to bottom of the league, and I personally wish them well and follow every single game, but they're just not good enough to stay up, John.
Yeah, it's a shame, really. But it'd be interesting because, of course, we've got a bottom battle on Saturday, haven't we? Friday, I mean.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah. Because it's Burnley versus Luton tomorrow.
It is title decider. Title who
week, you've got to beat up Man City, and that's going to be hard work, I think.
True, wherever you look, there are good teams.
Well, Luton aren't bad either. You know, they've pretty much been holding their own the last few matches.
Yeah. Everton need a little push to get them up from there.
Well, when you've had 12 points taken off you, it's a very unfair situation, isn't it?
Yeah, they would be mid-table, but yeah. Okay.
Because there's this team in second place that aren't doing too bad.
Would it be the Villa, John?
Yeah. Our Spanish man has done wonders, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't want him, but seems to be doing good now.
Did we say hello to Tracy Garcia?
Yes. Okay. You were on your phone, mate.
Oh, all right, okay. That's fine. Why?
Right, so according to which paper you read, in the next 7 days, we are going to suffer from frost and snow. Peter's got more chance of that being in Scotland.
Yeah.
What is the forecast, Peter?
I haven't, assuming we're going to have full snow. We had snow one day.
Yeah, we watched you go for a walk with the dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs seem to enjoy it far more than you did.
Oh, they don't. I don't like the snow anymore. Snow is for one day and one day only, and that's Christmas Day. That's it. And then get rid of it.
Well, I close to that. The snow should fall. We should all see the beautiful white snow. We should take our photographs, and then we wake up the following morning, it's all gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love sledging and yeah.
Yeah, that's it. My boys had a red sledge, and we used to go just up the road, and there was a slope like so, and even Dad went down it. I wouldn't do that now, though, John. It's over to you.
Yeah. Well, it's got round to that time. So, Peter, put your bloody phone down and play.
I'm sorry, I'm so busy. All right, go on then. Right.
it's the end of the first B4B for 2024. We're in our 400s. We've been going eight and whatever bit years.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing more of you people, not just Tracy, but other people and our friends at Royston Radio listening to us. So it's goodbye from him down there in the southwest, him down there in Scotland, and me in the Midlands. Bye.
Bye.
Same time, same place next